Our simulcast is not the only thing we are celebrating today. We're also celebrating a series marking its 100th episode on Wednesday night. I'm talking about Melissa and Joey on ABC Family. And if you've just gotten in on what they've been up to, let's turn the clock back and show you how this series began.
This August, meet Mel.
Woohoo!
For her, raising teenagers is hard work.
Don't torch the place. Yes.
So she needed a little help. Instead, she got Joey.
Oh, gross.
A new ABC Family original comedy.
You ever work with kids?
Are you kidding? Right out of college, I ran a youth center downtown. I was Charles friggin' in charge.
Oh, you're perfect. There's just one little detail. I don't really like you.
Together, they're raising a new kind of family.
How did you talk her into going down there?
I paid her $50.
A bribe?
Melissa Joan Hart.
So is this how you ran your youth center right out of college?
Joey Lawrence.
Oh, please, there was no use.
The world premiere of Melissa and Joey.
Did your hair get sick of you and leave?
This is a choice.
Tuesday, August 17th at 8/7 Central, only on ABC Family. A new kind of family.
He's a homeless commodities trader. He's taking care of the kids. How high do I sound right now?
Joining us live from Los Angeles for the second time on this program, the executive producer of Melissa and Joey, and okay, she is also the mother of one of its co-stars, Melissa Joan Hart. It's a pleasure to welcome back Paula Hart. Hi, Paula.
Hey, how you doing, Simon?
Very, very well, thank you. Congratulations on episode 100. What's it like to have it finally show up this week?
You know, it's very exciting. This is a huge milestone, and the majority of television shows never, ever hit 100 episodes. So we feel very blessed and excited to be hitting this milestone once again. So, you know, we did it on Sabrina. We're doing it on Melissa and Joey.
That's pretty good. 2 series in a row.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Yeah, and when you get to a point like 100 episodes, when do you start figuring out, okay, what are we going to do for episode 100? What kind of episode are we going to do? Is it going to be this tone or that tone? When do you start the planning process?
You know, we plan the entire arc of the season at the beginning of development. So when we get the pickup, we say, okay, this is where the show's going to go. And once we hit number 100, we knew it had to have a certain amount of heart. We need to tell a really good story, but it also has to be a milestone episode. So this one, though, even though it is our 100th episode that we shot, it is not the 100th episode to air.
And,
So
and why is
does
that?
make sense to you?
It does, in a roundabout way, but why is that?
You know, we had Nick Robinson is a very important part of our storytelling, and Nick was off doing a couple of really, really big movies this season. So we needed to work around his schedule, and we wanted him in the episode. So in order to do that, we had to shoot it towards the end of our season of shooting and not necessarily in the middle where this show tomorrow night is airing. So it is actually, we shot 104 episodes, and this is the 100th one that we shot, but not the 100th one that's airing.
So in this episode, people will see Wednesday night. What is the subject? How does the plot develop?
Well, we needed some sort of a cliffhanger because it is also our season finale, but it's really mid-season finale. We are going off the air for 3 months, and then we'll be back on in June. We start again June through the summer. So this is a sort of a little cliffhanger. We're going to say goodbye to Joey's daughter, Danny, and we're going to see if Mel and Joe, they're trying this season, you know, they got married at the beginning of the season, and they are going to try to have a baby. So we're going to find out tonight, did it work or didn't it work? And you won't find out until, I guess, August.
Was this episode dealing with... Was this episode, Paula, dealing with pregnancy, was it inspired by anything, either something you read or something happening with one of your cast or crew?
Actually, a number of our producers had issues getting pregnant. So it's a struggle sometimes for people. It's not instantaneous. It's not something that works all the time nowadays. It's a weird situation. And we felt that it was a very timely issue. You know, people trying and being discouraged and not being able to have a baby. So this is an important part of Mel and Joe's relationship that we hope will work out in the end.
And what's the barrier? What is the barrier they see to pregnancy?
Well, actually, it's not. There's not really a barrier. They don't really go for fertility testing, or they don't really have to go that far. But it's just a matter of trying different methods. We try to make it funny that there's different methods that they try. You'll see that in the rest of the season that comes up. But it's just discouraging when everybody thinks that, okay, we decide we're going to get pregnant, boom, it doesn't happen. Let's try it again. No, that doesn't happen again. It can be very heartbreaking for families, I think. So, it's always nice to bring in a little drama to produce the comedy.
You've seen your daughter go through a number of television series. We've seen her grown up on television. First, Clarissa Explains It All on Nickelodeon, then Sabrina the Teenage Witch, now Melissa and Joey. When did you think this program hit its creative stride compared to Sabrina and before that, Clarissa?
Well, Clarissa ran its course in 65 episodes. That was all that was ever going to be done. We did shoot a pilot after that for network television where Clarissa grew up. We did it for CBS, but it was not picked up to series. So that one kind of just ran its course. Sabrina had she went all through high school, and once we realized Melissa was 26 and couldn't really play high school anymore, that she really needed to play a college student, we moved her on then to college, and it was almost like two different times in that girl's life. And then with Melissa and Joey, we started off where they really didn't like each other, but we knew there was an underlying current of sexuality and interest in each other that we always tried to deny. And then we decided, why not? Let's bring it out and let's have them get married and let's have them start a family. So that's where we are. The series will end after the end of August. We were not picked up to do any more episodes, and we kind of wrap it up sort of nice at the end. We all have to view the show in August, though, to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Melissa and Joey will mark episode 100 this Wednesday night, 8 p.m. East Pacific Time on ABC Family. And we've got Paula Hart. She's not only one of the executive producers, she is the mother of one of its co-stars, Melissa Joan Hart, who has had an incredible television career. Paula's live from Los Angeles. It's her second time with us here on Tomorrow Be Televised. Happy to have her aboard along with you this half hour. And we're marking a milestone, our first simulcast anniversary on Blog Talk Radio and Brooklyn Independent Media. Started 1 year ago this very week. You have a question or comment for Paula? Don't be shy. Ring in 646-652-2906. Or use our chat room. Simon Apple 04 by name. Our good friend Rick Webb from Philly already in the room. Paula, how has Melissa grown as an actress, especially with this series?
Oh, she loved this series. She felt this was her favorite character of all time was playing Mel Burke. Mel Burke is an adult. She's a bit of a screwball. She is not a perfect person. She felt with Sabrina was always the one to be the driving force of, like, making sure things worked out right. Everything had to be perfect in Sabrina's life. Mel is just a mess. She drinks too much. She stayed out too much. She fooled around with men too much. And it just gave Melissa an opportunity to play a character very much unlike her. Melissa is the mom at home with her husband and her lovely children, and she lives in a suburb, and it really gave her a chance to have a lot of fun and play the screwball character.
And you mentioned last time you were here that it's not just a family affair because you and Melissa are working together. There's also other people in the cast, and their siblings or their families are also involved.
Oh, yeah. Well, Joey's brothers have all guest starred on the show. His brother Matt played his actual brother. His mom is his assistant. There's a number of family. One of our key grip, his nephew is a grip on the show. We love having family members around, and we had Melissa's son Nathan actually guest starred on the show. So we encourage that. We like having family members around. Why not?
I know you have a very popular Facebook page. I'm sure a lot of people do Twitter to communicate with you and Melissa, Joey, rest of cast and crew. What are they like talking about? What about the episodes or the subject matter that you showcase? What do they get most involved in talking about?
It's funny, we live tweet during the shows. Melissa, Joey, Taylor and Nick will, if they're available. Taylor's really good at it. I'll live tweet. And the audience is very, they ask really intelligent questions. They'll ask about the storyline. They'll ask about what was the reason for this. And sometimes I don't even have the answer, and I have to go back to the writers and ask them, like, okay, so why is this? Why did this happen? But we have a very sophisticated audience who really appreciate the comedy. They repeat lines, and they'll repeat lines from other shows when we're live tweeting. It's really interesting to have this. You know, we didn't have this type of technology during Sabrina days, so you're really disconnected with the audience. Today, people can say things, and whether, for example, when Xander and Lennox broke up, that was Taylor Sprightler's character, when they broke up and she had a new boyfriend, Marco, and the audience is asking, why is she with Marco? Why doesn't she go back to Xander? So we'll go back to the writers and we'll talk about it, and we'll say, well, maybe we need to bring Xander back then, or let's make it more important. And it does guide us in some small way to help us tell the stories, too. So we really like engaging the audience and making it something more personal for everybody.
When you started, Melissa, 100 episodes ago, what ground rules did you give to your writers, to your fellow producers about what kind of stories you wanted to tell? What kind of stories you wanted the audience to see?
Well, we knew that this was a chance for Melissa to break out into a different type of character. So I tried not to give them too many boundaries, but to give them some freedom. There's times when I'll say this doesn't sound true and pull it back, but I try not to limit their creativity. There might be some stories. All right, I'll tell you a little thing. So there was a chance we wanted to do kind of a Magic Mike kind of story, but it wasn't something that played too well. So we pulled that back and said, okay, we won't do Magic Mike. You know, there sometimes when they go off into another area that might be a little too sensitive, we'll pull back. But other than that, the writers really have free rein, as long as it stays within the confines of the character, to dream up these goofy, funny storylines. And as we were talking with the producer earlier, on your radio show, that there's a time when it really has to be truthful. So we always try to go back to what has happened in one of our pasts and say, let's do a story about this. This happened to us. Or this, you know, this is a good storyline because we know that it's from a real place, that it came from something that actually happened, not necessarily to Mel or Joe, but to one of the writers, and it's something that we've all experienced. And it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Is there sort of a fine line between making something truthful funny?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes, a lot of times things that happen to us are really funny. Did you ever go home, and say, hey, you'll never believe what happened to me today? And you tell these funny stories. So we'll take that and just make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more wacky to bring in some more comedy. Mm-hmm. But we don't want to make it too far-fetched because then it's not truthful and then it's not real, and then people will call you out on it and say, but that would never happen. So we try to keep it somewhat based in reality.
Paula Hart, one of the executive producers of Melissa and Joey, is with us live from Los Angeles, with us for the second time on our program. Melissa and Joey is going 100 episodes this Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Pacific on ABC Family. And we've got Paula Hart live right here on Tomorrow Be Televised. So if you have a question or comment for her, ring in now, 646-652-2906, or use our chat room, Simon Apple 04 by name. Remember, if you miss our show live on Brooklyn Independent Media, you can catch up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night replay at 11 p.m. And you can also catch our simulcast replay the following day at vimeo.com/BK Indie Media. It's vimeo.com/BK Indie Media. And once again, our special Good Friday episode, April 3rd, one of our guests will be one of the producers of Netflix's new adaptation of Marvel Comics' Daredevil, first of 5 series that Netflix has agreed to do. First one based in Brooklyn and set here. That's Daredevil, Stephen Medea. Steve Medea, producer of Daredevil, live exclusive with us, Good Friday, April 3rd, right here. One of our first April guests on Tomorrow Will Be Televised. Paula, we talked more about with Liz last half hour about One Big Happy. And one of the things that comes up is that, ABC Family, your network, has had a sensational reputation of dramatic shows that really extended the boundaries of family television. Shows like Pretty Little Liars, Switched at Birth, The Fosters, et cetera, et cetera. And in a way, one of the legacies of your program is that you have really opened the door for ABC Family to do more comedy.
Yeah, we started comedy really. They had some little success with 10 Things I Hate About You, but we really were the first successful half hour that was shot in front of a live audience, multicam. So it was kind of groundbreaking for them, and we feel very proud that we were able to really establish a comedy block that has been successful on the network. We did the same thing. Sabrina established a comedy block on the WB. When we moved from ABC to the WB, they didn't have any successful comedies, and we moved over, then started the comedy blocks on Friday nights that became really successful. It was us and, I can't even think of the names of the other shows. But we did establish comedy block. And then now on ABC Family, they have great success with Baby Daddy. Young and Hungry is going to come back. Because I believe they come back right after we go off the air. And they're developing 2 single-camera comedies now, too, so with their multicams.
And another thing that makes your network remarkable is that the majority, if not all, of their original series are produced, written, often directed by women, whether it's you with Melissa and Joey, whether it's Lizzie Weiss with Switched at Birth, which was their first Peabody Award winner last year, whether it is Pretty Little Liars with Marlene King, and up and down the line.
Yeah, they've been really strong proponents of female empowerment in this business. I don't know if it's conscious or if it's just that the product that they pick up is something that is more that we as women bring to this network because we find that the door is open to us. They're very, very excited about projects that are female created and produced and directed, and we try to support that as well. Everything that Melissa and I do with Heartbreak Films is generally a female, strong female character, or Melissa's either directing it or I'm producing it. We try to do that as well. So it's a good home for us for Heartbreak Films at ABC Family.
Have you already taped the final episode? And if so, what was the experience like?
Yes, we did shoot the final episode, and it was very bittersweet. We were all pretty upset. As much as we believe the show has kind of run its course, nobody likes to say goodbye. This was our family for close to 5 years. These are people that we spent more time with than our actual blood relatives. So it was very difficult, and I'm sure we'll have reunions and we'll get back together. And nobody wanted to say goodbye. After the final show, everybody went back to Melissa's house, and we all hung out there for pretty much the entire night. And then we had a wrap party, and nobody wanted to say goodbye. And I just did my last bit. I do all the post on the show, so we just finished all the mixing and the special effects for the remaining episodes, and it's a heartbreak. But we're ready to move on and find something new and see where else this world takes us.
Speaking of something new, Paula, when a series ends, particularly a long-running series ends, the actors, the producers have the option to either jump right into something new, or maybe, okay, I've done so much, I'll take a breather and wait 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then maybe if I find something I like, I'll do it. Where's Melissa at? Where are you at post this show? Do you jump into a new show, or do you take that breather and see what develops?
I would love to take the time off, but people come knocking on the door already. So there's very little time for us to rest, and hopefully there'll be something new on pretty soon. Melissa and I have a number of projects that we're looking forward to working on. She's not so anxious to go back to L.A. She came back to the East Coast and is spending time with her family. But, something presents itself, she'll be back there in a second. And it's hard for her to sit back and not work. So she has her new clothing line that she just started. She's been working on that since we wrapped the show, called King of Hearts. She's doing a line of clothes for little boys that she's now getting a lot of press. I think tomorrow she's doing the Meredith Vieira show in New York and a number of other things too. So she's still promoting the show. She's working on the clothing line, and there will be something new soon, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Would, if a series comes up, would you like to have it done in New York?
She would love to work out of New York. That's her goal, so that she can stay home and sleep in her own bed. And we shot a movie in Connecticut this summer so that she could do just that. It was a fun experience for her to. She's never had that, where she goes home to her family at night in a regular, normal situation. So this was this was a very different experience for her, rather than commuting back and forth to L.A. So we tried to do the Clarissa spinoff here in New York. At the time then, we lived in New York, and we didn't really know what it was like to live in L.A. So when the opportunity arose to do a spinoff, we said we only want to do it in New York. When Sabrina was sold, though, we said to each other, oh, sorry, did you hear that? Okay, my phone just went off. It's gone now. When Sabrina came up, we said, well, we've never lived in L.A. Let's give it a shot. And that was a very different world for us. And I've lived in L.A. now for 18 years, and Melissa moved back to the East Coast just when we sold the pilot to Melissa and Joey. So she's been commuting these past 4.5 years back and forth. So it would be nice to do something on the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast.
We'd love to have it, especially in Brooklyn, by the way.
Yeah, lots going on in Brooklyn now. They're shooting a lot of, I know, independent films. There's quite a large base of talent in Brooklyn now.
There is a lot of shows from such as Gotham, The Knick, we mentioned Daredevil, Orange is the New Black has gotten shot here, plus other parts of New York. So Brooklyn, amazing, amazing place. So maybe next time for interview number 3, you come here live in our studio. That would really be super. Melissa and Joey marks
that would be fun.
You got it. Melissa and Joey marks its 100 episode milestone Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time on ABC Family. Scan those local listings where ABC Family appears in your area on cable and satellite, and get more info online at www.abcfamily.com. Paula Hart, a pleasure having you with us. Congratulations on celebrating 100 episodes and a wonderful run with Melissa and Joey. You, Melissa, everybody involved, all the very best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Paula.
You'll just give me a call.
You got it. And come, and hopefully the next show here in New York, you come here to the studio.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care. Paula Hart joining us live from Los Angeles.